Hi everyone and welcome back to Oak 101, How to Make a Website. This is lesson 1, an introduction to HTML, and it's done on the basis that you've already completed this Welcome to Oak first task here. So you've already downloaded the Sublime Text, the Notepad++, and an up-to-date internet browser such as Google Chrome, and you've already downloaded the Oak 101 files to download.zip. So you've downloaded this, you've unzipped the file, and you now have a new folder on your computer called Oak 101 downloaded files, and you've got all these files here. And currently on your screen you've got these 3 different windows open. You've got the Sublime Text or the Notepad++, you've got your directory system, and you've also got your internet browser set up like this. This is your now development environment. So going back over to lesson 1, this is going to be to do with HTML, and you're more than welcome to follow this step-by-step instruction here, which is literally what I'm just going to be going through now. However, if you get stuck doing this, then probably refer back to this video tutorial, as I'll be doing everything click by click, second by second, so it's very unlikely you could get lost following this, but this may be a little bit quicker if you're confident to go through it. Okay, so first of all, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Bit of a long acronym, and you don't necessarily need to understand what each of those words mean inside the acronym. But basically what HTML is it is a programming language which we use to create websites. There's different programming languages. CSS is another one. JavaScript is also another one. And so what these next 3 lessons we'll be going through is each of these 3 different programming languages, their functions as to why you need them for different parts of code in your website, and also how to use them to create your first website. So HTML is a markup language, and what this means is that it provides the structure for your website. Without HTML, you can't create a website, as it is the most basic coding language that you need. CSS builds off of HTML, and also JavaScript builds off of HTML. Now what we need to do is set up a HTML document. As stated in the first task, this here, top left-hand corner, is a text editor which works in very much the same way as something like Microsoft Word. However, it's got all the formatting functionality gutted out of it, so we can code very simply in here any text that we like, and there won't be any formatting in here. So when we save this and push it to the internet, the formatting will not alter our code. First thing we need to do then, just like we would in Word, is to create a new document. We're going to go File, Save As. I'm going to save this as index.html. The .html is telling our system that this is a HTML document, and I'm going to come back to why we're going to save this file as index later on. Just click Save for now. When you're being a software engineer, which is what you are now because you're creating a new website, is you need to always follow set procedures. You need to unfortunately treat the computer as though it's extremely stupid, and you need to constantly tell the computer what you're doing. This means that everything you do unfortunately has to be exact, down to the last full stop, to the last letter. And a key concept in HTML is the idea of angular brackets creating tags. And what I mean by that is this. An angular bracket is this. So it's a little triangle such as this, which is in the bottom right hand corner of your keyboard next to the question mark and the shift button. And inside these angular brackets we can write something like HTML to then create a tag. This is then called a HTML tag. There are various tags. We could have a B inside a tag. We could have a P inside a tag. And we could do a whole host of other things. The key thing to remember is that an angular bracket facing to the right, an angular bracket facing to the left, the text inside these angular brackets create a tag. This here is called a HTML tag. If we go down, we then have another one, which is a closing HTML tag. opening HTML tag, closing HTML tag. This means that anything we write in here, such as text or hello world, exclamation mark, is inside this HTML. This tells the computer that when it's reading this document, it's, I found a HTML tag, an opening HTML tag, which means that until I reach a closing HTML tag, everything in between these two tags is HTML. For example, if we save this, I just did Command S, or you can go File, Save, like this. You can see you've got the index.html here. If I double click here, it's then going to open up my index.html in my internet browser, and we can see that we've got hello world typed here because we put it inside these HTML tags. So congratulations, you've actually just created your first ever website. Although it's only got 2 words in here, an exclamation mark, this still counts as a website because we've got text within some HTML tags, so the browser knows that it's actually a HTML document and then will output the text onto the screen. Well done. It's now important to look at why we set our screen up this way, so we actually understand the process that we're going through, because we're going to be doing this process a lot. We're going to be coding here at the top left hand corner. We're then going to be saving it, which is then going to be saving a new version of this index.html. And then our internet browser is then going to display this index.html not as code, but as a website. In fact, if we go right click, view page source, at least this is what you do on Google Chrome, you can then see the exact same code that we got here. So we're going around in a little bit of a circle. We're coding here in our text editor, we're saving. Our internet browser is displaying this file in just a different way than the code, but it's compiling this into our actual website. And actually behind here, we've then got the code we've already coded here. So we're going in a complete circle. However, to take this website a little bit further, we're going to have to follow some more software engineering procedures. So just setting out our document in a little bit more of a structured manner. What we need to do is we need to declare the doc type for our document. Although it's compiling fine in Google Chrome at the moment, this is a common standard that you have to use when creating a website. And we're also going to add 2 more tags. Or I should say 4, because we've got, for each new tag that we create, we have to also have a closing tag to accompany the opening tag. So we've created a head tag and title tags. You can see what I've done is I've indented all of these tags because of the different nesting which is occurring here. Because we have almost the master tag here, the HTML tag. We've then got the head tag sitting in here. We've also then got the title tag sitting in the head tag. This is a very common way of setting out your code because it's a lot easier to look at. What we're now going to do is we're now going to add a title. So because I'm going to be creating a biography page for Barack Obama, I'm going to put the title as About Barack. I'm then going to save, refresh, and you can now see that the title of this tab has now changed to About a Barack. This is very useful for a user. So when they've got a load of tabs open at the top, for example, if I had BBC open as well at the same time, I've got 3 different tabs here. You can quite easily see what this website is about. And it's also very useful because Google can have a look at this code here. And if I searched Google for About Barack, my website would then appear somewhere in the search results, albeit probably on about page 5 million at this moment in time. Let's explain these 2 new tags that we've introduced. Inside this head tag, we put all the information which isn't necessarily going to appear in our website, but it's very useful information. It's called metadata. This is data which means something to a computer. such as a title, means something to a search engine, which then will then put about Borak in search results when we're searching Google. We can then also put more information in the head tag, which we will be doing at a later date, which then connects to other documents as well as other websites. However, no information inside this head tag will actually appear in the website, which is why we've got Hello World here, which is appearing below the head in here. This is actually called the body of our website. So we need to create another tag called body. Let's indent this, add a new line for more readability purposes, and then we're going to close this body tag off as well. Command S. If we refresh the page, nothing has happened because although this is telling the computer something that this is actually the body in here, it's not affecting the website in any way. What we're now going to do as well is we're going to get rid of this text and we're actually going to start creating our actual website. We're going to add a new tag called the H1 tag. And we're going to add about Borak text in here. What H1 means is it means header 1. We have created a header. If I save and refresh, I have about Borak here. However, it's a bit bigger and bolder than my previous text. For example, if I type some text now, here, Command S, save, refresh, we can see that the text inside this H1 tag is a great deal bigger than text outside it. This is because we're declaring this text here as a header. This tells our browser that this text needs to be bigger, bolder, and stand out more than just regular text. The reason why it's got 1 next to it is because it's saying this is the most important header on this page. We can have H1, H3, H4, H5, and they all go down in descending order, with H1 being the most important, H5 being the least important. We're going to keep this like this for now. What we're now going to do is add an image to our website. So because you've already downloaded the images from theoak.co through the zipped folder, you've already got a couple of images in here so you don't have to search Google for them, save them to your directory system and then put them in the right place. However, what we do need to do is move this borak.png, because this is the image that I want to add, into the same directory as our index.html, because we're going to have to link to this image. Although there is a way to link to images outside of the folder which the index.html is being held in, we're not going to be covering this in this course. So for pure usability purposes, when you're coding this, move the borak.png from this folder up a level into this folder here. To link our index.html to this image, we're going to have to introduce a new tag. This is going to be called the image tag, img, like this. To then display this image, we need to type src equals double quotation marks borak.png. Simple as that. If we save and refresh, we then get Borak's face appearing on our website. Now what we're going to want to do is to add a Facebook icon and a Twitter icon, which when clicked will direct the user to Barack Obama's Facebook website and also Twitter website. To do this is going to be an extremely similar process to how we put this profile picture in. So because coders are lazy, we're just going to copy some of the code that we've already typed. Command C, Command V to paste it in. And because we're adding 2 new images, Facebook, Twitter, I'm going to copy it twice. In fact, if we save and refresh, we'll then see that we've got even more pictures of Barack Obama on our page because they're pointing to the borak.png here. However, we want this to point to a facebook.png and also Twitter. So if we copy these icons here, which you've already downloaded from Oak through the zipped folder, put these in here, you're then going to go Facebook twitter.png, twitter.png, Command S, refresh. We've now got 2 new pictures in here. We can see though that come and visit me looks a bit strange because it's on the same line here. So to get around this problem, we're going to put this inside a h2 tag. So this is a header, but it's not important as the h1 tag. And we'll just make the text a little bit bigger, and also it will make sure that nothing else can go on that same line as that text. So refreshing, come and visit me. And the last thing we're going to want to do is to add a Google map here at the bottom. To do this, open up a new tab in your internet browser, go on to Google Maps. Here, you go any area of the world you want to. I'm just going to search for the White House. Here we go. Over in Washington. Now this process can differ from internet browser to internet browser. On a Windows PC, even if you're using Firefox and not just Internet Explorer, which you definitely should not be using at this stage, there'll be a bar on the left-hand side with almost a pair of handcuffs, which you can click instead of clicking this cog here in the bottom right-hand corner, which is what we're going to be doing now. So if you're using a up-to-date internet browser, you should be seeing this cog. Click on the cog, click Share and Embed, and you're looking for this iframe here. So copy this iframe code, head back over to your text editor, Notepad or Sublime, and then paste this iframe code here, like so. You're then going to go Command S to save and refresh. You now have your embedded map at the bottom here. You can really see how this website is now coming together just by using some HTML. We're now going to explain why we saved this HTML document as index.html. To do this, we're going to go back to the example of the BBC website. Whenever we go to www.bbc.co.uk, we always arrive at this home page here. How does our browser know to go to this home page instead of the weather page, or the sport page, or the iPlayer page? It knows this because this here is actually saved as index.html. For example, if we go /index.html, enter, here we go, we're here. If we look at this system here, we've done exactly the same. We've saved our page as index.html. So when we do eventually put this on the internet in lesson 4 of this class, even if we've got a sport page, /sport, it will always load our index.html first because we've declared it in effect as our home page. Okay, so here's our website now. It doesn't look extremely attractive at the moment, but we're going to be going over that and adding some CSS in here to make this website look a little bit better in our next lesson. See you there.